Hey everybody, do you have a boring old light fixture like this in your house in a room that could use a little bit more light and maybe gets a little too warm in the summertime and some extra airflow would really help? Well, in this video I'm going to show you how easy it is to replace a light fixture like this with a ceiling fan that'll both give you a little bit better airflow and fantastic lighting options for the room. Let's get started. This light is installed in my home office and it's the only fixture in the room. It only has 2 light bulbs in it, and frankly, it just does not put out enough light to adequately light the room. We've added some floor lamps and desk lamps, and that's helped, but I really want to upgrade this fixture. Also, this room is situated fairly far away from the central thermostat of the home, and as a result, in the summertime, while the rest of the home feels nice and cool, this room tends to heat up just a little bit more than the rest of the house when the sun beats down in the afternoon. To address these 2 issues, the fan I'll be installing today combines a small fan with a large light in a lightweight and compact package. This is a style of ceiling fan entirely new to me, but the installation is extremely similar to other more traditional ceiling fans. It comes with a mounting plate that will screw into the junction box in the ceiling to support the fan. The wiring for the fan is simple and very similar to most ceiling fans. It will connect to the ground, neutral, and load wires of my home's electrical circuit for that room. It also comes with extra mounting hardware as well as a remote control that's needed to utilize a lot of the extra lighting features that it offers. I want to also mention that I'm not sponsored or endorsed at all by this fan company. I picked up this fan to try something unique and new in this room. There are a whole bunch of fans similar to this one available on Amazon. I'll leave a link down in the video description for some options. Let's go over some of the tools and supplies you're going to need for this project. First off, of course, you're going to need a ladder that you can use to climb up to where the fixture is. Once you're up there, you're going to need a screwdriver to remove the old fixture and to install the new one. I'm going to be using a power screwdriver, but a manual one will work just fine. You'll probably also need a pair of wire cutters or strippers, though not necessarily. It depends a little bit on what was included with the kit of your fan, but more than likely you'll need a pair of these. You will also need a circuit tester like this. This is a safety item and not to be ignored, and I will show more information about how to use one of these a little bit later on in the video. You may also need some wire nuts, though your fan probably came with some of these, mine did, but if it didn't, you can pick these up at your local hardware store. So let's get started. The first thing we want to do, of course, is turn off the light. But of course, turning off the light switch is not nearly safe enough, as somebody could inadvertently turn it back on while you're working. So go find the circuit breaker for your home, locate which circuit is for the room you'll be working in, and turn it off as well. All the circuits in my home are labeled. If yours are not, I recommend you take a Saturday afternoon and flip off each of the breakers one at a time, and then go figure out what it has disabled in the house. Doing so will allow you to label them appropriately, and then doing small electrical jobs like the one I'm doing today become very easy and safe. With the circuit breaker turned off, you can now test the light switch to make sure that the light does not come on, and as you can see, nothing happens any longer. However, that's not the only test you should do. You should also use your circuit tester to make sure that the switch is not live. Here you can see I'm using the circuit tester in my kitchen on a switch that does still have power, and you can see when I bring it close to the switch, it goes off to let me know that the switch still has power. However, you can see the meter shows that the switch we'll be working on that controls that light is now completely dead, so it's safe to open up that circuit and work on the wiring. And now that we're sure that the power is off, we can remove this old fixture. Now how you do this exactly is going to vary based on what your fixture is like. Mine has a little screw at the bottom. You just undo it with your thumb and forefinger here, which allows the bowl to drop down like this. This is also how you'd replace the light bulbs. With that bowl removed, I can see that there are just 2 screws that attach this to a ceiling plate that's hidden up above this. Just go ahead and remove those. Alright, I had to struggle just a little bit with those screws. One of them was stripped from the original installer, but now that they're removed, the fixture should be loose, although it seems to be stuck to the ceiling, probably because it's stuck to the paint, because they put these in pretty quickly after they paint the ceiling. I'm just going to tap it a little bit on one side, and that should knock it free. I'm going to pull it down, and that's going to reveal the wiring for the fixture. At this point, just because safety really is my top priority, I'm going to use my circuit tester here, make sure it turns on and beeps once to let you know it's ready, and I'm just going to make sure that there's nothing live up here that I'm about to touch, and that lets me know that the circuit is now completely safe to work on. So I'm going to reach up into the little recess there where they've got the wiring, and expose all of these wires. One should be black, one is white, and one is gold or copper colored. The black one is the load, the white one is the common, and the copper is the ground. I'll disconnect the existing wire nuts and we're going to throw these away. You should not reuse wire nuts. We'll untwist the wires and pull the old fixture completely off. Then I like to just spread the wires apart just to make sure that they can't accidentally touch. I'll get you in here for a little better closer shot. As you can see, the old fixture left a whole bunch of insulation stuck to the ceiling. I'm just going to use a damp washcloth or paper towel. Just try and wipe all that off and get that cleaned up so that we have a nice clean surface to be using for our next install. Now, anytime you're installing a ceiling fan, you need to make sure that the electrical junction box in the ceiling is rated to support the weight of the fan that you're going to be installing. To verify if the box is rated for a fan, look inside the box, and it should be labeled clearly if it is rated to support the weight of the fan. As you can see, the box in my ceiling is one that's rated to support a fan. If you can't find any labeling inside your box that says that it is specifically rated for a fan, like this one, or even like this one, you'll need to install an old work or retrofit or remodel junction box which can support the weight. These are commonly available at your local hardware store. Now, installing one of these remodel or retrofit boxes may require cutting into your ceiling a little bit or a trip up into your attic, both of which are beyond the scope of what I want to cover in this video. So let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see a video about installing a fan where there is no junction box, or where the box that is already there needs to be replaced with one that's rated for a fan. The next part of the installation is to install the bracket that came with your ceiling fan. And of course, these brackets are going to vary a little bit by fan design and manufacturer, so consult your manual and make sure that you are choosing the right slots and lining the holes up correctly with the mounting hardware that is already up in your ceiling. Next, connect your ground wires by twisting the provided ground wire for the fan to the ground wire that comes out of your ceiling, and twisting them together with one of the provided wire nuts. Once that ground connection has been completed, you can tuck it back up into the recess in the ceiling to save a little bit of space. And now we're ready to hang the fan itself from our mount. Now, this fan comes with a nice feature which allows me to hang it with a little strap there from the ceiling so that I can do the wiring more easily. Of course, check the manual for your fan to see exactly how to do these steps. Next, I'll use my wire strippers to strip a little bit of insulation off these wires for the fan. Yours may come pre-stripped. These came stripped a little bit, but I'm gonna remove a little extra. With the wires stripped, now I can complete the connections by twisting the white wire around the white wire that came out of the ceiling, using a wire nut to secure it, and then doing the same thing for the black. Again, I'll mention that you need to consult the instructions for your specific fan, as some have slightly different wiring configurations that may require some extra connections be made. With our connections now finished, we can support the fan and push this wiring again up into the recess in the ceiling to give us a little bit more room to work. And then finally, this fan has a ring of locking tabs. You just line up all those tabs, press up into the ceiling, rotate the fan, and it's installed. With our wiring all completed, now we can come back out to our circuit breaker and flip the circuit back on. If that circuit flips right back off again, then you've done something incorrect with the wiring and you need to go check your connections. In my case, the circuit stayed on, so I think things are good to go and test that fan. Now we can come and flip the power switch back on for the fan and test it. Whoa, all kinds of light and blue and weird. Now that it's installed, let's check out the improvement to the lighting in the room. This fan offers a bunch of interesting lighting options. It has that main ring light, which is both larger and brighter than the light that we've replaced. This main light also offers several different color temperatures, as well as a dimmer. The fan also includes a mood light on the top, which can change colors and intensities for those times when you're feeling particularly, purple or green. Apparently there's also an app you can install on your phone to control this fan, but honestly, I'm tired of installing apps for everything in my life, and I haven't even tried it. Well, as you can see, this fan is a nice big light. It's providing a lot more light for this room, and it's pretty handy that it's got a remote control. Now, I'll be honest, I was just kind of trying out this fan in this room, and I'm a little disappointed with how much air it moves. However, I do really like the lighting features, so I think I'm gonna let it go for a few weeks and see what I think. But there might be a future video where I swap this out with a more traditional, larger ceiling fan and maybe add some can lights. Let me know what you think. Have you ever tried one of these fans and did you like it? I'd love to hear about that down in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video or learned a little something, you can give me a thumbs up. That really helps me out, lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you want to see more content like this, of course, you can think about subscribing, but there's never any pressure from me, of course. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Now, how does this thing go into rave mode again? Is that what the kids call it these days? Red. Turbo boost, please. There we go. Oh, that's getting you.